Yo, 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 yo. We back at it, y'all. Hey, check it out. We'll talk some more again about those Philadelphia 76ers. As team starts to migrate down here to the quote unquote bubble, it's going to start to get a little more interesting in the coming weeks. Um, let's get into it. Okay. You're hearing a lot of teams talk about I guess their position and where they think they stand as far as how successful they're going to be in the bubble, coming out of the bubble, what have you, going into the postseason. But I think there's a couple of things people and teams need to realize. Number one, the Philadelphia 76ers are a problem coming out of the East. Everybody always talks about the Bucks and all this other kind of stuff. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Giannis is going to be a free agent, and they're letting those talks come out now. So what that means and what that should tell you is his future going forward may not be with the Bucks. So could he be doing a Kawhi? You know what I mean? Could he be fighting and trying to bring I guess the Bucks a championship before he gets up out of there? But he will be leaving. So what you want to ask yourself is when he leaves the Bucks, and just say he wants to stay in the East, where do you think he's going to go? Who do you think, or what teams do you think are going to be attractive as far as him um, coming to the other side? Anybody? Some people may say the Nets, excuse me, got KD. That's nice. But guess what? That still ain't going to be enough. Because the Sixers, we got Joel Embiid, we got Ben Simmons, we got Tobias Harris. It's a big three right there, baby. They don't get talked about enough. That's three from top to bottom. Three of the most premier players in the NBA, especially coming out of the East. Three of the top players. And in my opinion, they are the top three players because KD's not playing. Kyrie Irving, he's nice, but he's not enough. So three of the top players coming out of the East, despite them being from the Sixers, are Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. So moving forward, let's get to the bubble. Now everybody thinks the Lakers is going to be quote unquote that premier team coming out of the bubble. The Lakers, the Bucks. I only heard a couple of I guess newscasters, broadcasters, what have you, really giving the Sixers the credit that they deserve as far as their talent, as far as where they truly stand. At the end of the day, I mean, it's cool to be biased because you're a fan, that's my team and everything like that. But at the same time, you got to keep it real. And if you truly keep it real, you know, the Sixers is a problem and a huge threat. We almost beat the Raptors. That quote unquote lucky bounce will never be forgotten, but that's what it was. It wasn't a pure shot. That was the luck of the luck of the draw. That was the luck of the rim. If he misses that shot, if that shot goes out, Sixers had that game. Period. Everybody know. So to count them out is crazy. Man, we can beat any team. And with the schedule that we have, like those first four games. I mean, our first game, the Pacers. I mean, come on, man. I ain't knocking nobody. But what I'm saying is, as far as a team and what the Sixers can bring, if they truly, as they say, let it all hang out, no pun intended, man, we can darn near go 8-0. The Magic may give us some problems because during the regular season, I mean, the Magic just like Miami. Um, I don't know. You know what I mean? They had whether it's the pieces they had, the plays they put in position to stop us, I guess, on defense, whatever made the difference. But they made it a little bit difficult. But they can't necessarily stop us, but they can make it difficult. Now everybody has had time to rest, heal, recover, mentally, physically. I think the mental is still ongoing because the pandemic is still ongoing. But physically, I think that time off, a lot of players have definitely benefited from it. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, his back injury. I mean, they say his play as far as in practice, like you wouldn't even think the brother had a back injury. That's what I like to hear. You also saw the videos when when this dude was, I mean, in the gym getting it in. The boy don't put on some muscle, don't put on some size. So now when you go down there to paint, it's not all going to be about slicing and dicing. He got a little bit of muscle, so he's gonna be able to bang a little bit down there. So if Joel gets pushed out and he gets pushed to the top of the key or to the three, Ben can lay down there a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about being comfortable, but he can pop in, you know what I mean, bang a little bit, close out, get a couple boards. You know what I mean? But the Sixers have, in my opinion, um, not only a great team, but like I said, three of the most premier players in the league with Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. And then if you want to round out the five that I think that should start coming out of the bubble, I think you add another two to that, Shake Milton and Matisse Thybulle. I think if you put Shake, Matisse, Joel, and Ben on the floor, and Tobias, that's a nice five. That's a nice starting five. Not only, I mean, they'll be able to spread the floor, um, nice mix of size, athleticism, and length, and strength, quickness. I mean, that five right there has it all. I mean, Shake and Matisse. I mean, he's a great defender, and his shot is developing. But we definitely going to, I think, our success, is going to be predicated not only, on us scoring effectively coming, or while we at the bubble or in the bubble, but locking teams down defensively. Remember, the whole point about being in the bubble is safety. So, defense. If we really lock it down on defense, because the Sixers, when they lock in, especially on defense, I mean, it's nasty. Especially, you know what I mean, when you get Matisse, Shea, Ben, when these dudes start locking it in, especially Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. And if everybody can stay healthy in conjunction with staying healthy from the Rona, if they can stay physically healthy, I mean, we can go all the way. And I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, but we can go all the way. We can go all the way. And I have no doubt in saying that at all. So it's going to be very interesting going into the season. I'm really curious to see how that atmosphere is going to look. I don't know if they gave any inside looks yet, but I'm definitely a bit curious to see how everything is going to be laid out. Um, and like I said, I mean, I'm ready for some basketball. I'm ready for some football, boxing to get back on track. But this NBA season is going to be, I mean, very interesting. Like I said, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's going to be tough. I mean, not only because the way that everything is, I mean, set up, but as far as dealing with all this, going through this whole pandemic and being in that bubble situation. I mean, Joel Embiid, he made a very good valid point, and he wasn't trying to be too deep, but when you really look at it, I mean, everybody should be looking at it that way. Like he said, I'm going to do what I have to do, but I'm just not confident that everybody else is going to do what they have to do. That's real. That's why I said in previous video, like these team captains, you know what I mean? Like instead of, there's nothing wrong with collectively, you know what I'm saying, policing and making sure your herd, your team is where they are supposed to be and doing what they are supposed to be doing. But I think that these team leaders should coordinate between each other, you know what I mean? To further strengthen that bond and coordination as far as safety, making sure everybody adheres to these different protocols that's going to be put in place, really locking it down. If we're on a certain floor, certain section of that floor or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We need to know, or if you leave and you're going to certain parts on the ground or off grounds or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Somebody should know where that person or these teammates are at all times. I understand that people are grown and all that kind of stuff, but like I said, this is a different situation, a totally different situation than the norm and than the regular. So by letting people know where you're going, that's a way that people can, as they say, trace where you're going. So if something happens, they can trace those steps and figure out, okay, said people were exposed at XYZ. Instead of just letting people run around at random, you know what I mean? Because I believe they had to be on quarantine for the first, I guess, 48 to 72 hours. So that means they can't eat what they want, they can't go where they want, they on lockdown, which really shouldn't be a problem. So nobody should be making too many waves about that. Everybody been on quarantine, just not in this place and on that quote unquote level. But as far as quarantine as a whole, everybody should be used to that. Once you get to your room, you should be okay. Once you're amongst your things, you're in your space, you should be okay. Now let's just see how everybody responds. But moving forward, like I said, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle. I really hope Coach Brown, I really hope he puts that as the 5. Because that 5 is going to be a problem for anybody. I do not fear the Lakers. I do not fear the Bucks. I do not fear the Clippers. I don't fear none of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a true Sixers fan, you shouldn't either. Because besides, you got to remember we are representing. We're representing the city, baby. We'll do fear at all. So whoever step up to play us, hey, war ready. That's the mentality. War ready. We are fighting a pandemic. We are fighting our peers. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's the mindset. We war ready, baby. So we gonna wrap this up, man. Just wanted to touch on the Sixers, man. But like I said, I mean, I love our team. I like where we're at. Everybody is not 100% comfortable, but that is to be expected. Nobody should be surprised about that. Nobody should be surprised about the feedback. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But everybody's healthy, everybody's strong, and everybody is willing to do their job. They're willing to play despite everything. The NBA has stepped up and did everything they could as far as protocols. And I mean, what more could you ask for? As long as your team and the association is doing everything they can to make everybody safe, the rest is on us to make sure that we safeguard and look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I catch you guys on the next one. And stay safe, stay healthy. Hey, remember, wear your face mask at all times, wash your hands, at all times. Um, whenever you can. Um, and make sure you look out for each other. So stay safe, stay blessed, be righteous, and make sure that you promote love opposed to hate. And as I like to say, if you're looking for anything, if you're trying to find anything, just make sure you find peace. So on that note, much love, peace, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.